Hey, Rowan again, and this is my second VGC commentary video. I think I've got my recording software all set up, so we should be good to commentate as I play this time. Sorry for any background noise, I live in the city and it's a bit loud today, but I'll be looking to get a better mic soon. Anyway, let's jump back into it. I'll be playing with my LapDog team again to practice for Players' Cup 4, but we can try some more interesting teams when that's over with. Okay, we found our opponent. Player from Japan, top 1000. Alright, so I believe I've seen this team around. Comfy Zekrom, almost certainly weakness policy proc. If it's the version that I've seen, it'll actually be special Zekrom, which is interesting, and it's hard to tell since max moves mask what it actually is. This does leave us in a position where we don't really want to lead with Lapras. Landorus is an option here. They have their own Intimidator though, so I kind of like leading with Thunderous. Zekrom will set up Lightning, will use Max Lightning to set up Electric Terrain, so Sleep is not as powerful here. What I think our best bet will be is to go hyper offense with Thunderous and Zacian, take out Comfy as quickly as possible. After that, they have a lot of anti-intimidate stuff, so I don't see Landorus being particularly useful. Let's bring Mungus for redirection, and you know, I think we're still going to bring Landorus anyway, just so that we have some form of offense here. Let's see how this goes. Now, something else I could have done was potentially bring Umbreon. Baby Doll Eyes into the Zacian, if I know it's physical, would be good. I should definitely keep track of these popular teams that people like Cybertron use on their streams. Alright, so as predicted, it's going to be Comfy and Zekrom. If I recall, that team had Protect on their Comfy, which is actually really powerful. We don't really need an Airstream, I don't think. It would be good to know whether Zekrom has its own Airstream. Dual Wing Beat if it's physical. To be safe, let's go for an Airstream. And let's set up a sub. Okay, so they've removed the Comfy. Let's see what they bring in. Incineroar, okay. So, unfortunately that happens before our sub goes up, but we do get Thunderous' Defiant proc off. They must have known what they were doing, so let's see how this goes now. Thunderous is going to take, Incineroar rather, is going to take a big hit. And we can always use Knuckle next turn to get Zacian's attack right back up to full. My guess, though, is that they expected the team to play into that slot, so let's see who their max Zekrom targets now. It is good that we use Sub instead of Protect, though, because that means that we can Protect through Incineroar's Fake Out next turn. Close to 1 KO. Fantastic. And they go for Quake. Alright, so that'll be into our Zacian sub. Great first turn. Alright. They only get a special defense boost, which really doesn't help them at all in this case. They wasted their max move on 25% of Zacian's health. I think this turn we have to protect with it. And I don't really see a reason not to Knuckle into the Incineroar slot. I assume they're going to switch it. If they don't, then that's just a free KO and a +1. But even if they go back into Comfy, that's okay. Because we still get our +1, and Zacian can always Behemoth Blade it next turn. Great, so let's go for the Protect. Okay, no fake out. So we could have gone for an attack, which would have been nice, but we get the KO, we get a +1, +2 on Thunderous, so we're in a great position so far. Okay, they go for Wormwind into Thunderous, so that hurts, and they lower our Zacian back down again, but the thing is that they're just giving us another +1 through Defiant. See what they bring out. It could either be Comfy to try to prop a weakness policy, like we suspected they would turn 1, or it could be their 4th. Alright, their 4th is Urshifu. This seems great, honestly. Have to assume it's Sash. We don't need any more speed. We did bring a Mungus, so setting up Electric Terrain seems like a bad idea. So even though we don't need the speed, I think Airstream is still going to be the right play. I also just like setting up another sub. While Urshifu can't break through Protects, it can break through Protects, it can't break through subs immediately. And this one didn't even have a Sash, so great. The worst case scenario is that Zekrom does big damage into our Thunderous, but it'll probably just give it another proc. Fantastic. So the only downside of all this is that Zacian is actually a -1 now. And here comes Comfy. Okay, so... Right, if I recall from the Cybertron video, that Urshifu might have been Scarf, but if it is that same team, then this Comfy does have Protect. Although if it does, then I don't know why I wouldn't have just used it for turn 1. So let's play as if we don't have any prior knowledge. And go for a Wild Charge into it. There's really very little point in attacking Zekrom directly, since it's fairly bulky, and Comfy will just heal it right back up. Oh, and they forfeit. Great, good game. Okay, let's try one more. Alright, another Japanese player, also in the top 1000. Looks like we're playing Rain, but with Necrozma Dusk-Mane. Okay, so that's interesting. Landorus would be nice here for the Intimidate there and into Rillaboom, but does not enjoy attacks from Kangura. They don't have an Intimidator themselves. Regieleki is also something to be scared of, because Max Lightning can simultaneously do huge damage to Lapras, outspeed our offensive duo, and stop sleep. So we do have to be careful. With that said, I think I like Lapras Amoonguss as a lead. We'll put Zacian in the back, and then we have to decide what else we want. I'm going to opt for Landorus for the Dusk-Mane matchup. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so we get a Grimmsnarl and Dusk-Mane. This is just fine. I am a little scared of, either taunt or there's nothing necessarily wrong with getting taunted though. We do have to be scared of Trick Eject button. It seems to be less common these days in favor of full incense though, and I don't really mind having full incense on Lapras. So let's assume that they're going to be more scared of Amoonguss. We're going to Resonance the Grimmsnarl, and we're going to attempt to Spore their restricted. The worst case is that they fake out Amoonguss and go for a big attack. Amoonguss is pretty tanky, so there's a chance it takes it, but this is a very powerful restricted mon, so we're going to have to see. I haven't counted. Alright, they just go for Light Screen. Okay, so this Resonance won't do much. But, and Swords Dance, okay. They might have Lum, which is scary. So they'll now be at +2, but let's just find out. I don't know what the common items are for Dusk-Mane. It's a pretty uncommon restricted, honestly. Okay, no Lumberry, great. So now let's just get as much damage onto this thing as we physically can. The question is whether we want to Spore the Grimmsnarl or use this opportunity to position something else in. I kind of like Sporing Grimmsnarl. I'm really surprised it didn't taunt us, and if it didn't do it last turn, we can probably make the safe assumption that it won't do it this turn. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't, since Dusk-Mane got its sleep turn off. So let's put a Geyser into it. Should do decent damage this turn. Not great through the Light Screen, and then we have Rain Up, so the next turn should be even stronger. Spirit Break. Okay, so not ideal. We're just going to put a Geyser directly into their Dusk-Mane, and then we're going to swap Amoonguss out for Landorus. It's only taken one turn of sleep, so we have a reasonably good chance that it'll stay asleep for another turn, and we can get Intimidate into it, so it'll only be a +1. Alternatively, we could stay in and just keep Sporing that slot. I kind of don't hate that. Rillaboom. Okay. Oh, and they're going to max it. That's very ballsy. If they get the 2-turn sleep, or the 1-turn sleep rather, then it pans out great for them. If they don't, then this was a big waste of max. And actually, if they wake up, they're just going to take the score again. So let's see if we kind of hope they wake up. No, they're still asleep. Okay. So this should bring them down to about 50%, maybe less. Not even. Okay. That -1 hurts. And they're going to regenerate this with Grassy Terrain, so we don't love to see that. However, we have our Veil up, so that should hopefully start to keep us safe. Let's, I think we definitely want to get Landorus in soon. The question is in what slot. We could either protect Lapras and just swap Amoonguss, or we're going to protect whoever we don't swap. Lapras is in danger of a glide, but I would suspect that they're going to double into Amoonguss. Let's go ahead and swap Lapras out for Landorus. Get that Intimidate off, and then we'll protect Amoonguss. I don't know whether Landorus outspeeds Dusk-Mane. I'm fairly sure that this is a max speed Landorus, so we can probably go by base stats. Landorus has a 91 speed, while Dusk-Mane wakes up. Oh, and they go for the rock ball. Okay, so I called that incorrectly. Dusk-Mane has 77, so we do outspeed with this Landorus now. So now it's interesting, how do we want to go about this? If they glide, they could glide into Landorus. If they do, then Amoonguss will get its Spore off. So I think the safest play is to I don't really see what Lapras is doing for us at this point, so let's swap it in and go for this score again. If it's a sacrifice, then that's fine, because okay, they're gonna double into Amoonguss. This isn't great. They are at +1, so let's see whether this kills or not. We take it. Beautiful. And this is even better because we got a little bit of Grassy Terrain, which actually will just be cancelled out by the sand, but we can just swap right back into Landorus for another Intimidate drop. This also might be the safest time to bring in Zacian. Zacian will take a Grassy Glide very well, and I don't see Rillaboom attacking into our Amoonguss because it should take a Grassy Glide, and there will be no point. So Landorus, safest slot would be here. This will put their Rillaboom down to -2 also, and their Dusk-Mane back to neutral. +1 boost. This is one of the downsides of LapDog though is that the games are significantly longer, a lot more positioning. But you can back your opponent into a corner, which is great. Oh, and they call it, okay. But luckily Landorus takes that just fine, because it's at -2. Now might be a good time to get a sub set up. I don't know if they have an Intimidator. They don't, so that seems as good a time as any to get a substitute set up. Alternatively, we can Protect and Earthquake, but if they're a weakness policy, then we'd just be gifting it to them, which I don't love. So let's go ahead and set up a sub and switch Landorus right back out to keep cycling Intimidate, as well as recycling Regenerator. Both teams have used up their entire max, but we'll still have a couple turns of Aurora Veil, and we'll be regenerating most of our team. So let's think, they have shown us all four of our team members, all four of their team members now that they brought up Kingdra. They have Dusk-Mane, Rillaboom, Kingdra, and Grimmsnarl. That means they don't have Politoed, they can't change the weather. Therefore, Zacian is guaranteed to outspeed Kingdra from this point. Let's just get some good damage onto the Dusk-Mane, and the question is whether we go for the Spore on Kingdra. I'm going to go ahead and say no. The smart move on their part would be to shoot for a Hurricane, and Lapras actually handles Kingdra beautifully, so let's go ahead and switch that in. Shoot for Freeze Dry if we're lucky. And even if we're not, we'll just regenerate Amoonguss's HP again. It did lose a Sash, but as we just saw last turn, it's very bulky. And that looks like it might be a 2-hit KO. Yeah, Hurricane. And it hit, so that was a good switch up. Let's hope we don't get confused. No confusion. Fantastic. So now I think Kingdra has to protect or switch out. Switching out wouldn't be ideal because if I recall, their Grimmsnarl, I don't know if we left their Grimmsnarl at low health, but Rillaboom also won't appreciate a Freeze Dry, so let's go with this. Alright, so swap it out. Let's see what they bring in. Grimmsnarl. Okay. It's still sleeping. So that puts no pressure on us at all. Great, so we've gotten rid of their restricted. The game is definitely in our favor at this point. My guess is that they're going to bring in Rillaboom because it puts pressure on the Lapras, but frankly we don't care too much about Lapras and we can just swap it right out for Landorus. No, it's Kingdra again, okay. So at this point, let's just eliminate Grimmsnarl entirely and go for another Freeze Dry. And that makes sense. We could have predicted this and used the opportunity to switch to Amoonguss. But I think instead what we're going to do, they have to bring out Rillaboom now. They have Fake Out pressure on us. I would imagine they're either going to Glide or Fake Out into Lapras. So let's just double protect this turn. After that we can swap in Landorus, get the attack drop, Amoonguss, take care of Rillaboom, and then finally finish off Kingdra. That might be overthinking it. And actually, you know, I'm not sure, I don't think, can you fake out a Pokemon behind Substitute? That's definitely something I should know. We're gonna hope not, actually. Let's just try this. I think we're ahead enough that we can experiment with this. Let's swap in Landorus. If I recall, Kingdra has 95 speed, so it doesn't outspeed Landorus, so it's pretty much useless to us at this point, especially since Rillaboom also can probably take it out with a priority glide, so let's just use it for its Intimidate drop. Great, call the fake out. And now we get our +1 Blade right into Rillaboom. It's the only thing stopping Lapras from freeze-drying Kingdra. I don't even think they broke our sub with that Hurricane. Great. At this point, the game is over. I was talking about playing towards Lapras, killing Kingdra, but ultimately it doesn't matter. We can just switch Amoonguss right in to take an attack for it, and actually go for a 4-0 here, if it matters. It's always good to play as well as you can, even at the end if you're winning, though. It's very easy to accidentally throw a game if your opponent either gets some kind of hacks or just makes a really great play. Speaking of hacks, we could potentially see some accuracy drops here. But we don't. So great. At this point, I would expect a forfeit, but if not, we can just attack with Sacred Sword, go for a score. They have to choose one of us to attack. Well, they don't if they go for Muddy Water, but they're not going to KO either of us with that. And Amoonguss hangs on. Fantastic. Respect to my opponent for sticking it through. I will often forfeit games that seem like they're completely lost, but they actually played it through to the end, which is great. Let's see if we can end it with our Behemoth Blade animation. 3 minutes left. Wow, we almost timed out on this. And let's just protect. Alright, battle's cancelled. Great, good game to my opponent. I think I'm going to call it for today. This was fun though. I'm going to try to record a few of my games for Players Cup 4 using the same team, but after that I have kind of a backlog of fun restricted teams that I'd like to do videos for, so try to use some of the less used restricteds. It's a fun Rain Mewtwo team that Burm from Pokesports used. Got my old Hyper Offense Rain. We can try some stuff with Ho-Oh also. So lots of fun stuff planned. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Bye.